What's happening, everybody? Steve here, Cars with Steve, and today I'm going to show you everything you need to know about the steering wheel and the cluster inside of the 2022 Hyundai Elantra. Now, this is just going to be the base screen, so the analog screen. There is the option for the digital one as well, but if that video is available, check down below for that one instead. Well, let's dive into it and figure out how all of these buttons work inside of the 22 Elantra. Next up, let's take a peek at the steering wheel of the vehicle. So diving in deep, we do have two different options for the actual screen itself. So as you can see there, we've got our regular analog tachometer or speedometer, and then we've also got a little cluster screen there as well to go through a few options. But let's kind of go through some of the basics. Now, one thing to point out, this is just going to be the base option for the majority of the trim level lineup. We would have the option for a fully digital screen there instead, which looks really nice. But if you don't care about all the technology, we do at least have this as the base option there. Starting off, we do have a stick on the left-hand side, and that's going to let us figure out what's going on with our running lamps. So you can see that adjust from there. I always just recommend keeping it on the auto setting. We can easily flash our high beams. We can lock it up to the auto mode there as well, which the auto mode is a great one because if the vehicle senses an oncoming vehicle, it's automatically going to dim the lights for us, and then it'll just bring them right back up to our regular brightness as well when that vehicle passes by. So it is smart there. We can easily, like I said, flash it, lock it out, etc. On the right-hand side, we can easily figure out what's going on with our wipers. So we can easily adjust from there, and then we can just pull in towards us in order to get that front windshield wiper fluid going as well. So pretty straightforward there. Starting off with a pad on the left-hand side. So this one is going to be our voice command prompt. So as of right now, because we're in the base version of the vehicle, the prompt doesn't do anything unless we have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay hooked up. And that means that we can press this button in order to activate our assistant. So either Siri Assistant or our Google Assistant there. We have our mode button, which gives us the flexibility of changing between different things. So as of right now, we can kind of make it out along the top there. It's saying no sources are available. So we don't have Bluetooth audio and things like that engaged for this button as of right now. But this specific one would let us change up between different modes that were available. We can easily turn on there we go. So you can hear there. So our audio there. Quick test. All right, so that is nice. Now this is the upgraded Bose sound system inside of this vehicle, and we have a few different options for sound as well. But we can go up and down in order to be able to adjust the volume, or we could just press it in the middle to mute out as well. This lets us change between different presets there, so different channels, etc. We can also just do a press and hold in order to be able to seek that way as well. So you do have quite a little bit of flexibility there. Let's just mute that person out. We can hang up on a phone call. We can answer a phone call there as well. Looking at the pad on the right-hand side. So the button up here is going to be the option of being able to go through different screens there. We'll get to that one in just a second. But these buttons are going to be for our smart cruise system, so that adaptive cruise control system. If your vehicle doesn't have the adaptive cruise, you would just have regular cruise in place there instead. But we can easily turn the system on right there as well. So you can see their conditions aren't met because I'm not driving. But once you're driving, you literally just push this button to turn it on. And then you can literally just press up or down in order to be able to set it. So you can set it and then either increase or decrease 1 kilometer or 1 mile per hour at a time. But what this smart cruise system will do is if the vehicle senses somebody that's in front of you, it's automatically going to slow you down. If they get out of the way, change lanes, it's going to pick you right back up to your set speed as well. We can easily resume. So if you do ever press the brake, you can just push the button there in order to resume as well. This is our distance indicator. So how close or how far are we away from the vehicle that's in front of us? And then this one here is going to be for our lane follow assist. Now that's very different from our lane keeping assistant that's down just on the left-hand side here. So that's our lane keeping assist versus our lane follow. So our lane keep assist, what that's going to do is think of it like bowling lanes. So if we start to veer over without signaling, it's just going to gently nudge us back into our lane. But with the smart cruise system on and this setting engaged, it's literally going to be almost like a self-driving to a degree. Because let's say if you lose focus for a second, the vehicle literally will kind of take over and it'll steer for you as well, which is a great safety setting. And you can easily turn these things on or off very easily from there as well. So you can kind of adjust there. Now there are certain conditions that need to be met for that system to activate, but it's going to go green and let us know when that system's active. Now, next one, we do have these two buttons here. So we've got the one to flip between different pages, and then this one's going to go up and down, and we can also push this one in. So the one that we're pressing up and down to move between screens, we can push this one in order to be able to reset as well. So in our fuel economy, if we press and hold OK, as you can see there, it's reset our fuel economy. We can go down for accumulated info, drive info. We've got the option for either kilometers per hour, or we can press and hold OK to go to miles per hour, etc. Dropping down, we've got a series of different drive modes there. So as of right now, we're in our normal mode, so we can switch out to our normal, to our sport mode, etc. And there we go. So as you can see, we are now in our sport mode there as well. And we can see exactly what's going on with the fuel economy versus the dynamic range and things like that as well. Moving down, we're in our main screen again, so we can just push the button along the very top to move to the next page. So we've got some advanced settings there. We've got our attention level and then our tire pressure. So the attention level is an interesting one because if we start to veer over without signaling too many times, we've got a counter there, and once it gets to 0, it's going to tell us we should probably take a break. Moving down, we've got our tire pressure and then also our vehicle settings. So on our settings page, we hop in. We've got to press and hold, and there we go. So tons of different options there. We've got our base warning timer. So we've got a normal or a late timer. Our volume, do we want to have it high, medium, or low? We've got our driver attention. So we do have a few different options there. So as you go to depart a lane, it's going to let us know. And we can also get a warning. So that other one that we saw there with that coffee cup, we can turn that one off as well if we'd like to. Our forward safety, so our active assist. So if the vehicle senses a potential collision in front of us with active assist on, it's going to brake for us. Warning means we'll just get a message letting us know of a potential collision, or we can turn the system off completely if we want to. We've got our lane keeping assist there as well, our lane departure warning, and then same thing, we can turn that system off. So if you don't like the idea of that, we can literally turn the system on or off from there. So as you can see there, we can push the button down here to toggle on or off, or we can hop inside of this screen to do that as well. Our blind spot safety system, so that lets us know if anybody's entered the blind spot on either side of the vehicle. The safe exit assist, what's going to happen is if the vehicle notices that there's a potential oncoming vehicle on either side, as we go to open the door up, it'll warn us and let us know there as well. So we've got our active assist for our blind spot system. We can get a warning, or we can turn the system off as well. So the warning, there is a little light that's on our side view mirrors that's going to highlight if somebody's entered the blind spot on either side of the vehicle. We've got our parking safety there as well, so our rear cross traffic alert. So as we go to back up, if the vehicle senses a potential collision there as well, it's going to let us know. We do have, so we're done our base settings there, so pretty straightforward. And moving to our next page, so same idea, we've got some driver assistance settings there, which we saw all of these just a second ago. So it's just a different way to get to it. We've got some different options for lights. We've got our illumination there, so we can adjust it this way, or we can also adjust it, so just off to the left-hand side there as well. So we do have a little button in order to be able to adjust the illumination or the brightness of this screen. We've got our one-touch turn signal, so if we go for a turn signal there, as you can see there, so we've got 3, we can do 3, 5, 7, etc. Or if we want to, we can also have it so that there's just a single flash. So we just push once and it flashes. So you do have some flexibility as to the number of turn signals that we get. We've got our headlight delay. So as we go to lock the vehicle, do the headlights stay on, yes or no? We've got our high beam assist there as well, which means that if we flash our high beams this way, it does lock it out for our auto mode there, which is a nice one because what's going to happen is if the vehicle senses an oncoming vehicle, it's going to start dimming your lights, your high beams specifically, and then it's going to bring them back for us again automatically as well. We've got some options for our doors, so auto lock. Do we want the doors to automatically unlock when we hit a certain speed or when we shift the vehicle? And when do we want them unlock? When we put the vehicle into park, when we turn the vehicle off, etc. Or we can just have them not come off. We can not have it unlock automatically. We've got our 2-button press unlock for the door itself. We've got our smart trunk, which is a great one because if the vehicle senses our key fob on us as we walk towards the back, we have to be in a specific area. It literally will open up the trunk for us as well. We've got some options for sound, so we've got our welcome sound there as well, so as we go to turn the vehicle on. We've got some convenience settings, so our rear occupant alert, so if we go to turn the vehicle off, as you can see there, so check rear seats. So it's just a base safety setting just to make sure that we didn't forget anybody in behind us there. So it is pretty straightforward, and we do have the option of turning this thing off or on as well if we want to. That was under the convenience. Our welcome light, same idea. So we've got our driver approach lamps on the outside, wireless charging pad, we can turn that on or off, our wiper display, icy road warnings, etc. Our service interval, so as we go to adjust, so there we go. So we want to make sure that you're regularly servicing your vehicle there. We can easily adjust the frequency of our service there. If we go to take it in for service, they will reset that for us, so we can do it ourselves if we want to. We've got some different themes options there as well, so you can just kind of make out the color changes that are going to be different there. And some other options, we've got our fuel economy reset. We can go kilometers or miles per hour. We've got some different fuel economy units, temperature units, tire pressure units as well. And then we can reset. So we can literally bring everything back to the factory default screen instead. So if you've played around with it too much, you're not a fan of what you've done, just do a reset to bring you back to that main screen and you're just going to do a reset in order to bring you back to your factory defaults instead. But as you can see there, nice and simple, and inside of this base one, we do have that mini screen there instead of that fully digital screen instead. But that's going to be a basic walk around of the steering wheel as well as the instrument cluster screen. So that was pretty straightforward, right? I love the adaptive cruise control option, and I love the fact that even if we don't have a vehicle that has maps, we do have the flexibility of using this connected through Android Auto and Apple CarPlay as our Google and our Siri system as well to navigate using our voice. So it's definitely a nice thing. But if you ran into any problems, you have any questions, drop down below and let me know. I'm more than willing to talk you through any issues that you might be having. If you enjoyed the video though, thumbs up and share it with your social networks. And until I see you next time, take care.